though? And welcome to the Boss of Ball Lot podcast, your home for organic debate about Detroit Lions news and rumors. It's Shamea Kirstill on today's show. I look at Detroit Lions news and on my injury reports and the practice squad roster. Some changes, man. But do me a quick favor. Like the video, share the video, and comment on the video, man. If you enjoy the content and you keep coming back, you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, man. We are on our way to 2,000 subscribers, and we are currently sitting at 1885. So please become a part of the Boss Up Ball Out family. If you're new to the channel, this is how our show works. We look at Detroit Lions news, headlines, or takes. If we agree, we say they are bossed up. If we disagree, we say they are bought on. And we give our reasons why we agree or disagree. For our live shows, we do a little differently because it's up to you guys. If you agree, put hashtag boss up in the comments. If you disagree, hashtag bought on in the comments. Tell me why. I'll put them on the screen. We'll talk about them together. No hot takes here from the host or from you guys, man. Just natural debates and our true thoughts and opinions about what's happening with our favorite team, the Detroit Lions, man. Thank you guys for joining me this morning, man. Thank you guys for tuning in. All right, let's see who's in the chat. My man, Big Dennis is in the chat. Says, what up, though? Hey, what up, though? Bo Boop is in the building. What's going on, my guy? Hey, good morning, bosses. What's going on, man? Let's see what we got to talk about on today's show. All right, so we have some Detroit Lions injury updates from Dan Campbell's presser yesterday. Some practice squad additions for the Lions, and the Lions hangover is real, people. It's real. It's true. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's what's going on right now, man. I believe that 100%. But, hey, do me a quick favor. Like the video and share the video and comment on the video, man. We're trying to get this content to more Detroit Lions fans like yourself. But let's see what we got to talk about on the injury front. All right. Whew. Man, it was a sigh of relief yesterday when Dan Campbell said that Lions All-Pro center Frank Ragnow returned to practice yesterday. Graham Glasgow did a great job filling in for him last Monday night versus the Seahawks, along with guard Coyote Awosika, who stepped in to backfill Glasgow's spot at left guard. And I've been saying this, Hank Fraley is one of our most important coaches because he had that offensive line humming, even with Frank Ragnow being out. But make no mistake, Frank Ragnow runs that group in front of Jared Goff. And to have one of the best in the business back on the field is a plus for the Lions. Hey, you know, we can do with backups for here and there, but they're starters for a reason. And then also, Brian Branch was also back on the practice field yesterday. Now, here's my thing with him. The versatility he brings to the secondary is unmatched because he's the only player that we have. He can play in the box. He can play in both and man and zone coverage as well. I've said it before, man. Branch and Kirby can be one of the best safety tandems in the league. And Branch gives Kirby that range to, like, you know, that freedom to range, roam back there in the back of that secondary. And because what he can do up front as far as playing tight ends, playing with slot receivers, you know, Branch gives a lot of versatility to his position and to Kirby's. But it's great to have that dude back on the field because the next game is against Dallas, man. And Dallas has one of the best passing attacks in the league. Why? Because them fools can't run the ball for nothing. I mean, Dallas's run game is not scary, but CD Lamb and those guys, man, they can definitely put up some yards. And the Cowboys are just one-dimensional right now. All they're going to do is try to pass the ball. They may run it here or there, but against our run defense, it's a non-starter. But for as far as what they're going to do in the passing game, we're going to need Brian Branch, man. We missed him last game going against Seattle. So glad to see that guy back in the fold. And last but certainly not least, man, I kind of broke my heart yesterday to hear this, but I kind of figured that was going to be the thing. Derek Barnes was not positive, man. The news about him. Dan Campbell said in his presser yesterday that it's most likely that the Lions will be without their Sam linebacker for the rest of the season. Now, I will say this. He was careful not to say that he was out for the remainder of the 2024 season, but he made it clear if he is to come back at all, it will be much, much later in the actual season, man. Hey, so what do you guys think about what's going on with the Lions injury front, man? And what I had to say about the Cowboys passing attack, man. So let me know in the comments, man. Hashtag bossed up if you agree. Hashtag balled on if you disagree, and let me know what's going on and why you feel the way that you feel this morning. But back to the Lions are going to lay pause on the Cowboys, put the hangover curse on them in Jerryland. I hope so, man. The one thing I would say, things just seem to happen strange when the Lions go to Jerry World out there and to Arlington, man. It's always something, picked up flags or flags not being thrown on players walking on the field without their helmets. Now they're on an offensive player walking on the field doing a defensive time, man. It's just strange. I mean, just of course last year with the reporting the wrong reporter who reported, what I'm saying, with Skipper and Taylor Decker being pretty much mistaken for each other. I don't know about that, man, but it's always something strange in Jerryland, man. We need to go in there and run them out of the building so there's no doubt that the Lions won this game. All right, we'll go. Brent DeWitt, salute to my fellow veteran. That says, morning bosses, bummer about Barnes. I was really looking forward to seeing him take another step in his game this season. Yeah, and it's a contract year for him too, man. I hate to see that. I hate to see anybody get injured, but with the promising season that I felt he was going to have too, Brent, I think this is going to be a missed opportunity for him, man, because he's one of those guys, man. He was playing for his contract, even in Detroit or somewhere else. I would love to see him stay in Detroit, but it may be a thing where we may be able to get him back on the low. I don't want to do that. I want him to be able to get all his money, but a season-ending injury like that, man, not a lot of teams are going to pay top dollar for that. I'm just saying, this is my opinion. It's not saying it's truth, but maybe we can get him back in the fold, man. But I like Derek Barnes. I like what he brings to the defense, man. That him as a Sam linebacker, man. He plays the run. He can drop into coverage, and he's great crashing down on quarterbacks, man. I like what he brings to the table. All right. Bobu says Barnes will miss the vengeance tour against Dallas, man. Bring it in for him, Lions. Of course, man. Yeah. He had that one missed sack last year, and it would have been a safety, man. That play was one of those strange things that happen when the Lions go to Dallas. Mom Marker says, good morning. Getting ready for work. So listening, one pride, man. Hey, no problem, man. No problem getting you ready for work, man. Thank you for tuning in, Mom Marker. And my man, Big Dan, Coach Dan, man, over at Lions Talk Live, man. Thank you for joining us this morning, man. I appreciate you. I know you're going to be doing some trading here in a minute, but thanks for tuning in, Coach Dan, man. We appreciate the support right here on the Boss Up Ball Out podcast, man. One thing before we get into the next topic, I want to send, again, my thoughts and prayers to everyone affected by Hurricane Helene. And if you are in the path of Milton and they're telling you to evacuate, please do so. This storm is nothing to play with, man. It went from a tropical storm to a Category 5. Now they said once it hits landfall again, landfall coming up this weekend. The next 48 hours. It's going to be a close to a 3, and it's going to tear through Florida, man. So if you're in the path of that hurricane and you're able to get out, please do so, man. Please do so, because anyone getting hurt, you can replace things, but you can't replace people. So please, if you are in the path of that hurricane, please get out of that way if you can. I know it's hard seeing the news. People can't get out because traffic's so bad, and people running out of gas. It's just a hard time right now dealing with the hurricane season. I live in North Carolina, so I live somewhat in that hurricane path. Not these past 2 storms, or the one coming up and the one that just happened. I live in Central North Carolina, but please, people, please be safe out there. All right, back to the comments, man. My man Mike Kimber, man, he's up early this morning. What's up, Micro Mike? Going on with Lions Talk chat. That Lions need all their weapons to get by the boys and the officials. You know, Uncle Buzz, man, you know what? I either agree with you on that, man. I have to agree with you on that. And one thing, teams have, we keep hearing all this stuff about maybe the Seahawks. Oh man, the Seahawks were out, blase this and blase that, and this guy's out. The Lions have 13 players on injured reserve right now. And the last two guys that went on injured reserve are starters, and Marcus Davenport and Derek Barnes. So I don't want to hear this crap about playing teams that are injured. I don't hear that crap because we got injuries too. The Lions just don't harp on it because guess what? It's the next man up. This fan base knows that everyone on this roster accounts for something, and you're going to be asked to play a role when your number is called. So anytime I be talking about no injuries and all this stuff like that, guess what? Next guy's got to step up and play. So we talked about earlier here in this segment, talking about Coyote, Awosika, and Graham Glasgow just stepping in and stepping up and playing. So that's what I'm talking about, man. Go ahead with all that injury news. Guess what? If they ain't there, they got to play the guys they got. But man, speak easy, man. From Woodward Sports, Woodward Heavyweights is checking in, my guy, man. What up, though? What's going on, my dude? Yo, and the Dr. Detroit, he is always in. All right, now let's take a look at a couple of players that got added to the practice squad yesterday. All right, so the Lions added a couple of guys to the practice squad, and this kind of goes to what going on with Derek Barnes, man. They added 2 defenders to the practice squad that may be filling in for Derek Barnes because he's going to be out for a while. Al-Qaeden Muhammad was the defensive end that they added. Kind of both guys are tweeners. They're kind of like defensive ends, outside linebacker. The guy was a former 6th-round pick of the New Orleans Saints back in 2017. He spent 1 season with Dan Campbell and Aaron Glenn down there in 2017. Since then, he had some stops with the Colts, Bears, and the Colts again, and then now the Cowboys was earlier this season in their training camp on their with them. In his 6-year NFL career, he's made 84 game appearances, 34 tackles, while tallying 12 sacks, 4 forced fumble, and 157 tackles. Now that's kind of a tall, big dude, rangy, 6'3", 250. You know what I'm saying? So big dude. You know what I'm saying? I like that with him. Got some size. He's more of a defensive end than he is an outside linebacker, but he can play that Sam, and he has a lot more defensive experience than the next guy. Now, the next guy that they added was linebacker Cam Gill, undrafted free agent with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in 2020. He did spend 4 years with the Bucs. He played 40 games. Now, he's a special teams ace, man. He played a total of 768 special team snaps, man, with just 184 on the defensive side of the ball. He missed the entire 2022 season after a Lisfranc injury to his foot in the preseason. That being said, low usage on defense, man, but he's produced 13 pressures and 2.5 sacks in his times on the defensive side of the ball. Now, to make room for these 2 players, man, safety Eric Hallett and kicker Matt McCrane were waived from or released from the practice squad. So you look at this, guys, man, these are some of the guys that they can probably bring in and kind of help with the linebacker core. We have a ton of linebackers, on the active roster. So, you got Neiman, Nowinski, Rodrigo, Jack, and then, of course, Double A. So, but none of those guys that I mentioned play that Sam linebacker position, at least play it like Derek Barnes did. So, hey, what do you guys think about these guys, man? And they're practice squad players, but it's kind of one of those things where they're practice squad players, but they have that they could come up to the active roster at any moment type of deal. You look at what went on with Patrick and, of course, with Allen Robinson. So these guys are guys that can be moved up. That means somebody will move off the active roster if one of these guys are signed. And, of course, you look at the long-term injury to Derek Barnes, man. I think that's why they made these moves on the practice squad, because these guys can move up and be on the active roster anytime. Of course, what the rules are, you can move up twice to the active roster. And if you, after the third time, you either have to be signed to the 53-man roster, or you can, or you have to go on waivers. If you clear waivers, you can come back to the practice squad. So what do you guys think, man? What do you guys think about these two guys, man? Let's go back in the chat. You at work, bro? Doing good. So he's talking to Easy, baby. All right, Moonscar Blade said, what up? All boss up ballers. What's going on, man? Moonscar Blade. We signed a guy who played with Dallas the week we play them. Nothing to see here. Now, you know what, though? Guys on practice squad, man. The one thing I will say about that is a lot of these teams, they have things that they shift and they move around. So they can they will change calls, change cadence, so offense, defense, they would change calls, change alignments a little bit. But I don't know how much he will be in the offensive meeting room, because he got to learn the defense first. So maybe. Moonscar, what up from Dr. Detroit? Bo Booth, just business as usual. Of course. Did we sign Parsons? Yeah. I don't know if we see Micah Parsons this weekend. They're playing on a short week because they played Sunday night football. And it's just, he's only 2 weeks into a high ankle sprain. Man, I don't know if we see Micah Parsons there, Dr. Detroit. I don't care if we see him or not, to be honest with you. I think we can run right at Micah Parsons. I mean, that's the one way to combat one of those speed rushers, is go ahead and run straight at him. That's just me. I run straight at that dude, man. All right, Bo Booth says practice squads are part of the plan, both plan, man, and coming. You know what, though? Dan Campbell said this before, man. He said everybody on this roster has an important part to play, and vet squad, practice squad, 53, it doesn't matter. If you're on the roster, man, you're going to be asked to contribute, and you're going to be asked to contribute at a high level. So you just look at last week, Brian Branch is out. You bring in the other Joseph. He starts at safety. He didn't have a great game, but he didn't have, one of the worst games I've ever seen. I mean, he filled in admirably. I mean, he didn't make big plays. Of course, Yodi did was absolutely great, man. He look at some of those blocks that Yodi made down in the goal line to get Jeremiah Gibbs and David Montgomery to the end zone, man. That's why if you're on the roster, you're going to be asked to contribute at one point or another in the season. All right. Brent DeWitt says, do the Cowboys take a page from the Sea Chickens and focus more on outside runs and how we do to counter that? Maybe. I don't know if Dallas can do that, though, because I will say this: they don't have a bunch of speed backs in Dallas. Ain't like Zeke Elliott gonna be running out on the edge. He's not that fast of a back. It just not. He just don't have that. He doesn't have that in his toolkit. Maybe back earlier in his career, maybe, but I don't think he has the speed to get to the outside like he used to back in the day. But let me let me know what you guys think about with Dallas. You think they can run outside like Seattle did? Because Kenneth Walker is fast and he's big, he's strong, but he's fast as well. Elliott's strong, but he's not fast. I mean, at least not as fast as he used to be. So I'm not looking at that. I think we can shut their run down. They're going to be trying to throw the ball anyway. Dallas's attack is to try to run the ball, man. Definitely. And Cowboys are missing Anthony Pollard. Yeah, they are missing Tony Pollard, man. He's out down there in Tennessee now. He was their speed guy. He was their bounce out the guy and make some guys miss on the outside. So that part of their running game is in Tennessee. So yeah, you know what I'm saying. Hey, like the video, share the video, and comment on the video, man. All of this helps us get this content to more Detroit Lions fans just like yourself. I'm rolling dolo solo today, man. But thanks you guys for joining us right here. All right. Jason Statham Jr. in the house to watch the Man of Steel. What's going on, my man? Ant-Man from Royal Alliance UK, man. I'm rolling by myself. So I gotta go check on my son right quick. Listen to this quick message from me, and I will be right back. What up, though? And welcome back to the Boss Up Ball Out podcast, your trusted source and home of organic debate about Detroit Lions news and rumors. It's your man, Kurt Steele. Thank you for supporting our new channel and new format. Coach Mike LL Coutons and I are happy to bring you Detroit Lions content once again. To our family that came over from Detroit Lions on the Prowl, thanks for your continued love and support. And to our new family, welcome again. And we will strive to be a place where you can learn, laugh about the Detroit Lions, and be entertained by fellow Detroit Lions fans. Thank you for watching. Always remember, whatever you do in life, you got to boss up, ball out, and be the best version of you that you can be. This is Kurt Steele, and I will holla at you real soon. Okay, I'm back. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. All right, good point, Bo. Of course. Anthony, the closest Army fan, of course. Okay, let's get to this last topic of today's show, man. Thanks for still. If you're still with me, man, I got a son who has autism. Got to check on him, make sure he's doing the right thing. All right, so the Lions hangover. You know, the hangover we're talking about. Well, the Lions kind of put the whammy on people. Another team the Lions played this season lost their following game after playing Detroit. Let's look at them. Rams lost to the Cardinals after playing the Lions 41-10. Bucks lost to the Broncos 26-7 after playing the Lions. Cardinals to the Commanders, who's looking really good with Jaden Daniels. 42-12, 42-14. Seahawks 29-20 to the Giants. Who thought the Seahawks were going to lose to the Giants? Not me, because I picked the Seahawks in my pick'em league. Now, when asked about the Lions hangover, Dan Campbell said, "We play a particular style of football. You know, after you play us, that you want a dogfight. So, you're licking their wounds, man." He also said he wasn't sure about teams having a letdown game after playing Detroit because they gave their all versus the Lions. Or I would say that because they are trying their best. And even these fan bases are trying their best to downplay the Lions because, oh, the SOL and you guys aren't good and you guys are just lucky last year. No, the Lions are for real. And something is really going on with these teams after they play the Lions. Now, we'll see if that trend continues. The one thing that's going to help the Cowboys, because they play the 49ers after they play the Lions. But after they play the Lions, they have their bye week. So we'll see if they are going to have some trouble with the next game after they play Detroit. But y'all guys let me know what you guys think about the Lions hangover. Is it for real? Do y'all believe it? I believe it. I think the Lions hangover is real. So 35-17 is going to hit sometime this year. I don't think Dallas can score that much, but I'm sticking with it. Okay. I will say this. The Lions are going to be the best team as far as one of the best teams that the Cowboys have faced this year, you know, probably outside of Baltimore, which is Baltimore isn't the same team they were last year on defense. They're on offense, but they're not on defense. So, yeah, I'm liking what I'm seeing from the Lions. I like this matchup. The Lions are going in to Dallas as a favorite. Never thought I would see that happen. But yeah. All right. I'll be happy with that score, Bo. Just win, baby, with that Al Davis reference. Of course, there, Brent DeWitt. The Lions hangover curse is real. I believe so, man. I don't know if it's a curse. I just think that the Lions, they play physical ball. They're gonna wear your behind out. They're gonna wear you out on the defensive front, and they're gonna wear you out on the offensive front. They're gonna put that wood to you all game long. You're gonna have to go against that offensive line, which is gonna push you and hurt you in the run game. And then up front as far as those defensive tackles. They're going to push and push. And then you got Hutch coming off the end. The Lions play a physical brand of football. Now, one place that's hurting the Lions is a physical brand of football is in the secondary because they keep getting flagged for holding and passing interference. But we got to calm that down. But I like the physical nature that the Detroit Lions play. Like Dan Campbell said, you know that you are going to be in a dogfight when you play the Detroit Lions, man. Like the video, share the video, and comment on the video, man. Thank you guys for hanging out with me, man. I know when I go solo, man, I have to go check on my son, man. Like I said, it's he has autism. He's in his 20s, but he's still like a baby. A lot of days, man. He's like a little dude. So in his mindset, but I have to, keep an eye on him if I'm in here doing the show, doing this time of morning, I'm live, he's doing whatever. I got to make sure he ain't getting himself in a place where he's doing something to hurt himself, or in something he's not having any business doing. So that's why I got to go check on him, make sure he's okay. But consider that Sauce has more penalties than TA. Let's get physical. You know what though? That is correct. TA. The only thing I hate with Arnold is that the fact that I think that some of the refs are looking for him to have a penalty, and I think some of the opposing coaching staffs are like, "Hey, watch him when he does this or when he does that." So when he's in man coverage, he's going to grab, he's going to pull, and I hate that the fact that they're gonna try to nitpick him out there in coverage as well. So, but yes, Sauce Gardner's not having a great season by his standards. I will say this, definitely not having a great season. Teams are throwing at him too, like that Vikings game. And I was watching, I was listening to Sirius XM, and they said that that whole secondary, that the Vikings was just throwing the ball down the field, and they were getting penalties. They knew they were going to, how the refs was going to call it. And once they started calling it tight early, they were just going to throw the ball up there and see what's going to happen. And they got a lot of penalties on Sauce Gardner and the rest of those guys in that Jets secondary. So Jets defense isn't having a great year by their standards, by Robert Saleh standards or anything like that. So yeah, I get what you're saying, Bo Booth, man. Hey, like the video, share the video, and comment on the video, man. Make sure you go check me out over at Lions Nation Unite. I have a great time over there doing content. Well, man, Herman Moore and Lomas Brown and that whole crew over there, of course, with Mike and some of the other hosts that part of the Lions Nation Unite family. My man Easy over there at Woodward Sports does a great job, and Spinmo Racks and all those guys, man, that we have over at Lions Nation Unite. It's always a good time, man. So join the community, man. Be a part of the movement that is Lions Nation Unite, man. It's almost time to get out of here, man. It is 8:28. On Tuesdays and Fridays when we do our live show, man, I get you in, I get you out, man, get you ready for work, man. Hey, that was a hell of a game last night on Monday Night Football, man. Shout out to the Kansas City Chiefs, man. Hopefully we see you guys in the Super Bowl in February, because that's what I want. But hey, do me a favor, man. Follow us on your favorite social media platforms, man. Follow the crew. Of course, man, you got my man, Coach Mike Jones. He has a great YouTube channel over there with Wolverine Sports Talk. He does some great shorts over there. LL Coutons will keep it thirsty on Thursdays. As always, that's my guy. Of course, I post content from this platform, all of my social media channels. So make sure you go over there and check that thing out. Man, we have a great time bringing this content right here on the Boss Up Ball Out YouTube channel, man. Yeah, let's go Tigers, man. Yes, Lady Lion, definitely. Let's go Tigers, man. Shout out to Kerry Carpenter with that home run yesterday. Definitely a great day to be a Detroit sports fan yesterday, man. Kerry Carpenter, definitely. And happy trails. Have a great day, folks, man. One Pride. Thanks for joining me right here on the Boss Up Ball Out podcast, your home for organic debate about Detroit Lions news and rumors, man. Do your man Kurt Steele a favor. Whatever you're doing in life, you got to boss up, ball out, and be the best version of you that you can be. Thank you for listening in with today. This is Kurt Steele, and I will holler at you real soon. Wait a minute. Let me get the thing up. Ah.